You talk about sexual discipline
Yes.
for a man. For a man in particular, I had seen a clip. I think. Oh, it's your Instagram, Tyler. Can you flip to me to number 6 and play his IG, and then we can get your reaction. It's your words, but I want the audience to hear it.
Yeah.
But most men lack all sexual discipline. Their bodies say Pornhub, they do. Their body says she's here, they have no discipline. There's gonna come a time in the day for all the guys who struggle with pornography that woman that you see in that pornography video is gonna want you in person. And you're gonna be married and you're gonna have children. And if you've never learned, I'm not talking about no average Betty, I'm not talking about no big beluga whales. I'm talking about the woman that you're watching on those videos. A woman like that is gonna want you
In 3D.
And and the difference is, it's one thing when you're having to talk to her and no, she's
on you. She's right on it. Yeah.
And if you never learn discipline, I'm telling you, literally, you will fall and you can potentially.
So that's a
ruin your
unique
life.
message that I don't hear a lot from the red pill community in particular.
100%.
And oftentimes, some of them will say, "Well, a guy doesn't need to exercise any discipline at all because there's a separate set of rules for men and women."
Yeah.
I'm somebody who believes create the relationship you want, create the paradigm you want. If it makes you happy, I don't care. As long as you're both in it, you understand the terms, and no one's cheating or doing anything nasty. But this idea of sexual discipline is interesting to me. Why is it important for men, and how do they get that? How do they exercise that muscle?
Great question. I think the uniqueness between me is I come from a faith-based background. That's the foundation of my ideas. I truly believe in order to speak the truth, you must go to the source of the truth, which I believe is God. And so to me, I'm obsessed. I don't care about me being right. I care about the truth going out. So I love learning from different people. I love learning and improving because I'm obsessed with the truth going out. A lot of these people, especially in the red pill community, they swear that they have the truth. Men, beware any individual in this planet who says, I am the way, I am the truth. You listen to me, I will tell you everything right about life. That's a cult leader 101. Versus somebody who says, yo, I'm trying to aspire for the truth. I want you to investigate, learn for yourself, and I want you to find what's best for you in your life. So all these individuals in those communities who swear that they're the orders of truth, they're extremely dishonest and extremely destructive to the lives of innocent young men who do not know. And I want the men to use their wisdom to figure out the truth for themselves. So going back to sexual discipline, because of having a faith-based background, in Christian theology, you learn about the importance of sexual discipline, especially when you understand the story of Samson. The story of Samson in the Bible is a deep story. I hate how people treat Bible stories like they're children's stories. They're not children's stories. It's a really deep story. So long story short, Samson is an Israelite judge. And back in the day, a judge wasn't like a judge and gavel. Those were actually leaders. Mm-hmm. So he was one of the leaders of the Israelite people. There was a rule back in those days in Israel where you do not marry non-Jewish women. So like there's like the land was called the Canaanites. You don't marry Canaanite women. Mm-hmm. Samson did not follow that rule. He loved the Canaanite women. And the story continues and it continues. So one day he's with a woman named Delilah. And Delilah was actually paid off by Samson's enemies to want to kill him. But Samson was a super strong guy. He had all the muscles, all the strength, and no one can kill Samson because he's super powerful, but they needed to find Samson's weakness. So they used Delilah to find out Samson's weakness because after, in bed, during pillow talk, after he did his thing, she would ask Samson, what's your weakness, Samson? What's weak? Where's your weakness? And eventually told her his weakness, which is his hair. This is when she cut his hair. The guys came in and they took Samson away. That story and so many more teach you about, as a man, if you do not have discipline over your body, you have discipline over your decision making, those decisions will ruin your life. So to me, I've clearly seen that as a man, that if you have the wrong woman in your life, if you bring the wrong person into your life, it will ruin your life. So to me, I've seen so many stories of men who they are married to the wrong women. Why? Because they were so obsessed with having sex. They never actually vetted her, never asked the right questions. They never see if she's a woman of character. All they were consumed with was what she did in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. But if that man had sexual discipline and sex wasn't the end all be all of his life, guess what could happen? He could actually objectively analyze her to see if she actually fit his life and to avoid the train wreck before it occurred. On top of that, with pornography, How many men today struggle with pornography? They're spending hours upon hours of days watching pornography. They can't even focus. I hear stories of man after man dealing with it. Why? Because they never had sexual discipline. And to my last point, as a man, if your whole life you went from I see, I smash, I see, I smash, I see, I smash, one day you get married. Or one day, let's say you're an anti-marriage guy like those red pill extremists. Let's say one day you're in a relationship with a woman that you actually value. And maybe one day you're like, you know what, I'm done sleeping around. And you talk to her about, yo, it's just you and me. And then all of a sudden, because you never learned discipline, you then sleep around for another woman, you get her pregnant. What happens to your relationship? I cannot tell you how many men today ruin a great woman because they lack sexual discipline. And so to me, there's 75 other ways that sexual discipline benefits a man's life. But so many men today, the reason that they struggle is because of discipline. And it also, so many men, they're not even about their purpose. They're about getting laid. The only reason some people are making money, only reason some people are in the gym, because they're trying to get laid. But imagine if you weren't so consumed with sex and you were actually consumed with becoming a better human being. Imagine how many great things you can accomplish. Imagine how great of a person you can be. And so my biggest thing is that when you are a guy and you're constantly flooding your brain with pornographic images, when you're constantly flooding your brain with simply trying to go out and sleep around, there is no way that you can be on your purpose and fulfill the purpose that God has put on this planet for you to achieve. And so sexual discipline to me is a man's superpower, and so little men have that ability in their lives.
If you want to watch the full episode, click right here. And if you want to ask me a question, talk one-on-one, send me a FaceTime video, join a video with a group of your friends and me, you got to download Connect and you got to join me there. It's going to be really hot.